What's going on, YouTube? Uberman here. Going to have to close out the Lyft Man channel. Got some news the other day from Lyft saying that they weren't able to approve my application to drive. This is just going to be a short video with a few different updates. The reason why for Lyft, I mean, I'm not going to hide it because I really don't have anything to hide here. They got my background check done, and for some reason they decided not to hire me based on the fact that I was charged with a bogus check in 2010. The charges were 3 months later dropped. They were dismissed completely. It still shows on my record that there was a charge, but the charges were dismissed. The reason why is I'm not going to get into how it happened, but somebody that I knew wrote a check using my checkbook. They signed my name to the check. It was a felony because it was over $500, and I got arrested for it, actually, on Valentine's Day. In 2010, I got arrested for the felony on that bogus check. I was extradited to 3 different jails. I spent a little over a week locked up in different jails. I couldn't get out because I never had a bond hearing because I was being switched from jail to jail to jail until I got to the county that the check was actually written in. It was a pretty bad experience for me, but I mean, you know, I lived through it and everything worked out fine. 3 months later, district attorney dropped all charges. I actually ended up having to pay the restitution on it, but I did that. I took care of what needed to be taken care of, obviously, and the charges were absolutely dismissed, as in there's nothing on my record other than the fact that I got charged and arrested on a felony bogus check. It was 3 months later completely dismissed. So I really don't understand why I'm being denied a job over something like that. You know, you can look at my entire record. They check. I've lived a lot of places. I've moved all over, and believe me, Lyft checked all of them, which is very impressive, and I'm very happy about that. That's good. That's good for customer safety. I didn't tell them all the places I lived. I just told them about 2 of them, and they found every single place I've ever lived, every county, every city, every state. And they ran my entire record, and of course they all came back completely clear except for that one with the check. So I'm really disappointed. I'm really upset about it. I sent them an email asking them to reconsider. I even pointed out, I copied and pasted it into the email showing them that, you know, these charges were dismissed, completely dismissed within 3 months because it was found out that this wasn't my doing. And I took care of the restitution and everything, but I mean, I have no criminal record other than, you know, it just showing that there was a bogus check. But anyway, I guess I'll get off that subject because I could easily go on a rant about it. Next issue, the whole moving thing. So my sister came up here and we packed up all my stuff and sent it to Oklahoma. I've got an air mattress over here that I sleep on now. It's kind of uncomfortable. After careful consideration, I've decided to go ahead and stay here in Indiana. But I am looking for another place, which isn't going so well. It's taking quite a bit of time to find something. So I'm going to go ahead and stay here so I can be closer to keep my kids together, you know, and be closer to my daughter, and hopefully Mom and I can figure something out, remain friends, and do what's right, and we'll see what happens. Next up, another thing I'm really kind of pissed off about this weekend. Every week, I don't know about the rest of you, but I get an email from Uber saying, you know, hey, here's what we're expecting for the weekend. Here's the times we expect to be the busiest. And since I started Uber over a year ago, these emails contained a minimum guaranteed pay per hour. Well, I noticed on this one that Friday no longer had a guaranteed minimum pay. I'm pretty upset about it. I mean, 95% of the time I exceed the minimum pay anyway, so it's not a big deal, but for right now, as I'm trying to find another house, and just there's a lot of expenses that go along with packing up and moving, and I need all the money I can get. So it's nice to know that if today, being Friday, if today turns out to be a crappy day and I don't make very much money, it's nice to know that Uber is going to cover whatever I don't make. That's not the end of it. So they took Friday completely off the list. No minimum guaranteed pay today at all. So basically, whatever you make is whatever you make. You're on your own. Saturday, however, we do have minimum guaranteed pay. But what they did is they took Saturday, which used to be $23 to $25 an hour, and they've dropped it down to $16 an hour, which used to be Friday's pay, basically. And they've dropped Friday. Now they moved Friday's pay over to Saturday. So guaranteed hours aren't really that much for Saturday either. Now, I'm not going to sit here and cry about it and say I didn't see this coming. I knew this was coming. And to all the new drivers out there that have been messaging me and emailing me, I've let you guys know that this was coming. I was just hoping that at least in my market it wouldn't be coming so fast. I did a comparison the other day. The Oklahoma City market that I used to work in, they're paying drivers $1.65. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. $1.65 per mile. In the market I'm in Indianapolis here, it's $1.25 per mile, 25 cents per minute. And then there's no minimum fare, and then the base fare is like $1.90. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. It's pretty cheap. I mean, honestly, it's dirt cheap. And this is happening across the country, guys. And I don't know about other countries, but I can pretty much guarantee it's happening across the globe. This is how Uber is doing things. It really sucks for drivers. It really does, because in the end, it's coming out of our pockets. We're expected to provide the exact same customer service, the exact same high-quality vehicles, clean vehicles, but we're getting paid less than cab drivers. Technically, okay, technically. I mean, realistically, at least for me. I've been on this forum called uberpeople.net, and I mean, you ever want to visit a place that does nothing but talk shit about Uber, go to uberpeople.net, sign up, and I mean, it had me discouraged. And I'm like, I'm super Uber, man. Yeah, get that. Anyway, you know, I'm totally pro Uber. You know, I see this as a future. I see this as a good way to make money if you're really aggressive and you're willing to go out there and I mean, I say it over and over, but you got to be innovative. You've got to go out there and you've got to face problems as they come, like this one that's happening to me now. You know, yeah, it's an issue. Does that mean I'm just going to give up? No, I'm going to go out there this weekend. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to find a way to continue making my money. You can't just expect to sit on your ass, drive a car, and that's all you got to do. It's just not that simple. It's just not that simple, guys. You've got to go out there. You've got to put some work in. You've got to think about problems, and you've got to come up with new solutions. Find your own way. Don't just go off of me. Don't just take what I'm saying. What I do works for me, okay? But it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You can use my advice to help guide you, but you cannot expect to just follow everything that I'm saying to the letter and it's just going to work for you, because it's just not the case. You're going to have to take my advice, use it as a guide, and then find your own way of doing things. I'm pissed off. I really am. I'm really upset that Uber's really gotten this cheap, because I have advocated for Uber since the day I found out they existed, and I really do kind of feel like I'm getting screwed. I mean, I just don't understand. Cabs, we were already cheaper than cabs, and quite honestly, our customers would be willing to pay more than they pay for a taxi just because the service is so much better. But I don't know exactly why Uber's doing it. My only guess, the only thing I can come up with is maybe this battle between Lyft and Uber, they're competing for the clientele, and so really the service is so close to being identical, the only thing they can compete with is their price. So one of them, say Lyft, drops their prices, so then Uber has to follow suit, drop their prices, and eventually, I mean, I don't know, they're going to drop their prices to the point where nobody's going to work anymore. It's just not worth it. I plan on following this through, as I typically do with all things in life. I will follow this through to the very end. I will continue to find new ways of making my money using Uber. I was really looking forward to doing Lyft, and I think I'm going to text Steve, my mentor, and see if he can maybe he's got an inside connection. I mean, I'm not trying to get special treatment, but I think maybe they saw the felony and maybe they didn't look close enough at it to see that the charges showed as dismissed. You're kidding me.